Welcome everyone. Here today we are at the Arab Startup Competition, and with me is Dr. Teresa Escrig. She's an AI executive. Welcome to Beirut.
Thank you.
How was the conference today? What can you tell us?
It was amazing. I really enjoyed it.
You were on the panel of AI and education, if I'm not wrong.
Yes.
What can you tell us about that? Today you were sharing ideas and knowledge between the speakers from all over the world, basically. So what can you tell us about that?
Well, it was very interesting because there were people from other parts of the world very passionate about the work they were doing in education. So AI for education, how we can use technology to help kids to be prepared for the workforce of the future. That was very interesting.
Today we received the question specifically about customized education for the future. So basically each person gets an education depending on their likes, depending on their ability to understand new ideas. So do you have any thoughts on that aspect? I mean, what do you think is the future for education in terms of AI? Would we need a teacher perhaps? Would we need more automated lessons?
Yes, it's going to help education in general, so kids from very early ages to up, but now I think it's even more important to have to educate people, to reskill people in companies, because the companies are needing AI skills within the company and there is none. So the reskilling within the companies, I think it will arrive first, but education per se is really important because it's the future.
Yes.
We need to educate kids in what is AI, for them to first of all become critical with what they are using as users, and then also help them to understand what is the technology and what to do with that technology so they create it instead of just consuming it.
They say new technologies convey what the people who create them. So, like, I mean, if we have human biases, we sort of translate them to the AI itself. If the data is biased, therefore the AI is biased. I mean, what are the dangers? I mean, specifically on the front of education and children, or whether the workplace as well. I mean, what if this AI algorithm turns out to be sexist, for example? And like, what are the dangers and loopholes, if I may say?
Yes, and that's a very interesting question because it's not only happening in education, it's also happening in the industry.
Yes.
And it's because AI has been equated in the industry as machine learning, deep learning, as we talked before. And that's not the only AI that exists. And that type of AI requires massive amount of data to be trained. And we know that the data has been created in the past and is biased because it has been created by people and people are biased. It's unconscious bias.
Yes.
So we don't know that we have it, but it is. And in the algorithms, when they're being trained with unbiased data, they expand that bias. So it's not that we reproduce the bias of people, it's that we even expand it. It's bigger and worse. So we create boards that are racist or boards that select beauty in those beauty contests and never select people of color and things like that. We have seen already those type of bias in algorithms using machine learning. But AI is more than machine learning, and I'm all about having transparency in AI. So not only doing black box type of AI, and the fact the industry has already arrived to a point where it's obvious that we will not advance if we don't integrate other AI technologies to bring transparency. It's not going to happen only with ML. Explainability is not transparency. Explainability can be reached only with ML, but transparency requires integration of other AI technologies.
I mean, you call for transparency in algorithms and in AI, but how realistic is that ideal, for example? I mean, what are the regulations and what are the potential of the public using those, or like advancing that ideal of having a transparent? Is there such a thing as a transparent AI machine that allows everyone to input data and get an output without necessarily being biased or not understood? So, for example, if someone applies for a credit for a bank and then they tell you no, you can't get the credit, and then you don't know the reason, would there be a sort of collaboration maybe between corporates, regulators, users in a sort of mechanism? Yes.
So in Europe, there is already the GDPR, General Data Regulation.
Yes.
So, and in the States, in California, there is already a regulation towards that direction. I don't know here how it is, but once it starts somewhere, it will spread. Because there is a problem when people don't know the reasoning behind an AI engine.
Yeah.
Especially when people is affected, like you said, loans being denied without knowing the why, or any decision that has high level risk is not going to be accepted if there is no reasoning behind the decision made by the AI engine. So it's not only to have people that are interpreting what the machines are saying, which is what the industry or the ML people that are working with ML are saying. I think we need to use technology to do that. And there is technology to ensure that the data that's being used is unbiased. So it can be done with technology.
Oh, really?
Yes. And there is also technology to provide that transparency. It's like a window.
Like buffer area.
Yes, so it's not going to be ML. With ML, we will never have real transparency, but AI is not only ML. There is many other areas that have been doing research and applied for as long as ML in AI, so 60 years. And the integration of those technologies will provide the transparency. I've been working with that my entire career, so 20 plus years. And I implemented that for autonomous vehicles and also for DNA sequencing and time series analysis in general. So I know it can be done because I've done it several times.
Oh, wow, that's very inspiring, and we look forward to see what the future holds for AI and for us in general as users, as entrepreneurs, and as innovators. And I want to thank you, Dr. Teresa Escrig, for giving us this exclusive interview, and we really are privileged to have seen you today on stage.
Thank you very much for inviting me. It was a pleasure, and yeah, knowing a new culture for me was very touching. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Well, this is it, everyone. Thank you for watching, and stay tuned for further updates and news and hashtag ASC 2019.